Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest 11k hero trapping video. So we'll be doing some trapping on the 11k hero trap today. We will not be using the real gear, we'll be using the fake gear. Also, we'll be doing some solo trapping. So we'll be starting off with a solo trap clip on the 11k trap. So you're kind of wondering, who the heck is soloing a 520 mil who has an anti on? Well, I'll tell you. So we're doing the doppelganger trap. So what that means is I'll have an alt account which has about 1,000,000 troops on it, a much smaller account, maybe 200 mil or whatever it is. It only has 1,000,000 troops. It won't be running anti. You'll have that sitting around the map. You will also have your main account, which is the rally trap. You'll have it with the exact same name as that smaller account. As soon as they scout your smaller account, you will port the smaller account out of the spot while they are checking their reports. You will port your bigger account back into that spot, the rally trap with the exact same name. You're also trying to get them to change the name after they port away, so that way when the person looks at the report and then checks the picture on the report, it will actually show up with your castle, like the bigger account. So if you ever do a name change trap, make sure your smaller account changes their name afterwards and you change it to the exact same name on your bigger account. Right now I have a similar name. There's just 2 spaces between Doido and Duck. The smaller account has 1 single space. What you need to do is get that smaller account to change their name so you can only make it 1 space. So when they literally check the report, it will have your actual account there and they won't see what's going on. So that's kind of what I'm getting them to do, hopefully after this. Again, the solo attack is coming in right now. I'm able to cap that pretty easily. So yes, I did get them to go a full solo attack with their leader, tier 4, tier 5, into my almost 600 mil rally trap. Well, not almost, it's 520 mil. Anyways, it's a 520 mil account. Got them to solo that. So now I have the leader, like I said. So now I have their leader. Again, like I said, this is not normal. You're not going to get this normally. This is something you have to do to bait them into hitting you. And now someone is reinforcing me right now. I do not want them to reinforce me because that kind of shows I'm online talking to people if they see that I'm getting reinforcements right after a solo attack. So if you're ever doing this, don't reinforce the person. Wait till they ask for those reinforcements, especially if the trap is online. A lot of times they don't want you to reinforce you. They want you to reinforce later, so it kind of makes it a little more obvious that you're not online watching this happen. So, like I said, so the person from FK is now capped. At this point, obviously, they either have to go in for another solo attack or another rally trap. At this point, they're probably rechecking their report and stuff like, what is going on? I just checked this report. He only has 1,000,000 troops. There's no way this account should be able to cap me, going back and forth for that. So at this point, it's very, very important that you do switch your name to the original name. So obviously in this situation, I have 2 spaces in Doido Duck. What I really need them to do is get rid of the alt's name with Doido Duck so I can change the main account's name into Doido Duck. That way they don't kind of catch on what the trap is, because if obviously they check the picture on there when you click on the name and it goes to a totally different count than the 520 mil account right now, they're like, oh, okay, obviously I got trapped. But if I can change this to the original name and they go check the name on there, it will literally bring them to my 520 mil account, not the 200 mil account they actually scouted. So that's why it's super important at this point that I can change the name. But the person who I'm trapping with didn't quite get that at the start. So again, this is the first time we ran this trap, so he didn't quite get why he needed to change his name, but that is the reason, is because when they click on the report and click on your account that you scouted, that will bring them to my account if we change the name, and if not, it brings them to that 200 mil account, and it's very obvious what happened. So right now, obviously, I'm going to get ready for a rally or a solo, and I'm really trying to change this name at this point. So again, if you're ever using this trap, make sure you do end up changing your name. It makes it way easier to do the trap, and obviously it makes it way more confusing for the person who scouted you, because they'll go back and see that for whatever reason, it was the 520 mil might account they scouted. So anyways, we're back at the rally now. Now that they have figured it all out, they didn't go for a solo, they decided to go for a rescue rally. This is kind of what I wanted. As much as I love a bunch of solos, I'm obviously trying to rally trap on this 11k hero trap. And if you guys don't know, I do have 2 gold 11k heroes on the wall on this account. I also have a full mythic champ with tempered 12 gloves on the account as well. So obviously, if for whatever reason they went in for a double or a triple, I would obviously put on the real gear. But if they're only going to do singles, I'll be using the fake gear, because the fake gear is actually pretty decent. It's got 400 mixed stats. It's got like 570% army HP as well, so it's pretty set up. Plus with 2 11k heroes and 3 army attack heroes on the wall is super solid, so I got a ton of stats from there, so I don't actually need the extra stats from the gear, unless, let's say I'm taking a double or a triple, where there's a chance I will get countered and need those extra stats. So I do have some, obviously some troops in the infirmaries right now from the solo attack. I really shouldn't be starting to heal right now unless I plan to heal while the attack is coming in, because if I don't heal, I'll get more tier 2 into my infirmaries. If I do start the heal, it doesn't actually kick those tier 1 out of your infirmaries when you take your hit. So that 173k, what's called ballistas there, you do not want those cooking in your infirmaries, because whatever tier 2 would have ended up in your infirmaries won't, and they won't kick those troops out because they're already healing. If they aren't healing, they'll kick the troops out into the sanctuary. If they are healing, the tier 2 that would usually take their spot will end up in the sanctuary instead. So keep that in mind. If you have tier 1 in your infirmaries, don't start the healing process yet. So anyways, so the rally's going to be coming in about 10 seconds. This is where I got to get ready. So I got to put the war gear on, I got to do the counter, all that stuff. So I'm going to put the fake gear on right now, right as it's coming. Again, they're not going to get super scared from the fake gear, because they're going to speed it up, but again, I had forever to counter that one for sure. It wasn't a lot of carpets. He does have quite good gear. He's got quite a bit of mythic champ in his gear as well. Unfortunately, they didn't fill the rally. Again, they only think I have 1 million troops at this point, because that's what the scout said. The scout said I had 1 million troops. He got capped on the solo, so he's like, oh, we'll just do a rally. Easy rally going on. Obviously, they thought that I would burn pretty easily on that if they sent a 2 million rally at 1 million troops. They were not expecting to get capped. So even if I threw my war gear on at that point, it's not a big deal, because they're not going to cancel a rally against 1 million troop target because the 1 million troop target decided to put his war gear on. Yeah, and especially since my war gear isn't anything special. At least they don't think it's anything special. It's obviously as full champion jewels in the fake gear as well as the real gear as well. So the rally lead was pretty good. Unfortunately, he didn't really do much damage. He did about 300k to my front line, and the rest was to my back line, the tier 1 siege. Again, I am running the tier 1 siege comp on this account. It does make it look like they did way more damage than they really did, which is really good, because usually you get a follow-up rally after this first rally, because I'm like, oh, at least we did some damage to him. Did a couple million damage, even if they think you countered or wherever it was. It looks like they're doing quite a bit of damage. They think you're weak. They might go in for a second rally, which they're doing right now. So it looks like FK Austin's going to be coming in. He's been in quite a bit of videos at this point. So he's been showcased on the channel quite a bit. So shout out to Austin for hitting all my accounts very often. And some people have actually sent in clips of them also capping Austin, so shout out to him for being in a bunch of my videos. Pretty awesome. Anyway, so there's about 17 seconds left. At this point, obviously, they know I'm online. They're going to be doing a hard carpet, at least that's my thought, so I'm going to throw my war gear early here. My job right now is to counter this, because again, they haven't tested my front line, so I have no idea what they're sending. Coalition's coming in. It's going to be coming in fast, so again, you have to do it very quickly. As you see, it takes me about 3 seconds to counter that. That's all it took. They're obviously going range. They sent quite a bit of tier 5 in this one. You can see there, he did go 1.2 million tier 5 range in there. Rest was tier 4. The leaders he sent were proper and all that. So again, you don't really have much time to counter on these rallies, so a lot of times throwing your war gear on first is the best thing to do in this situation, just because, again, they're going for the rally. They know you're online. Might as well throw your war gear on. Obviously, I put the fake gear on, not the real gear. The only reason I'm switching out of the real gear or the fake gear right now is just in case other guilds are watching or something and they don't realize that I've actually put my gear on. So that's the only reason I'd switch out, because normally I wouldn't need to, because either they're going to go for another rally or not. But I think they finally realized at this point there's something going on, because obviously a million troops shouldn't be capping this, and I think they realized the trap we did after this. So you can see Austin, quite good gear. He's got 405 levels on there, 200 plus artifact stars. He's got some mythic champ in his gear as well, so proper rally lead. 950 plus. Don't have the exact stats, but I would say 950 to 1,000 based on his gear and his artifacts around that thing. Again, he's got Pack 5 familiars and all that, and those Pack 5 familiars are actually getting soaked up by my what's called my tier 1 Seige. That's the reason I have the tier 1 Seige in this account, is basically for that. So let's just go back here a little bit. Where was it? Yeah, we can go back right to the rally here. Where is it? Yeah, we'll go right back, and you can see how fast it actually comes in here. So I'm just going to pause it. So basically, I took about a second to check the watchtower in the situation. You can see it was range, so I'm just going to go back. Actually, I'm right at the start, so it's the same thing. So let's go back to the start here. Just 2 seconds. And you can actually see how fast you actually need to be to counter these rallies. So again, this is not sped up. This is literal real time. So I take it usually 1 second to half a second to process what's going on. So I'll click on it, click off, take a second to process, and then counter it. Again, it takes practice. So if you do go through your quickly here, it is range. Again, you might not see it, but I saw it obviously, and they're carpeting hard. So again, about 3 seconds to counter that. So if you're ever trapping, a lot of times and you think they're going to carpet, just throw your war gear on first. You do not want to be messing with your war gear at that point. You barely have enough time to actually counter the rally unless you know exactly what they're sending, and then you can take your time. But otherwise, don't mess with that. Throw the war gear on quickly, check what they're going, and try and hit that counter. Sometimes you don't. Again, it's rock, paper, scissors, and you gotta be very quick. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this 11k hero trapping video. I will have some more videos coming out on this account. I do have some more clips saved up. They do take a little bit to get out. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.